My name's Ashley and I have OCD. A lot of people, when they think OCD, they think cleanliness, but for me, it's a lot of like tics. So I have a lot of physical motions as well as some visual intrusive thoughts in my head that I can't get rid of. And a lot of it is knowing that something's irrational, but still thinking it could be real.
If I don't blink, it feels like my heart's gonna explode.
Whenever people ask me what my symptoms are, it's hard because I can't just rattle them all off. It would take days. I actually got so frustrated in college that I started writing down all of my symptoms on paper, and I got maybe 10 pages front and back in and couldn't write anymore. Nothing was reversing this as I was growing, so it was just piling. And that's very much what it felt like. Everyone told me I would grow out of it, or that everyone's a little bit OCD. And I just kept looking at them and saying, it's only getting worse and it just keeps adding. I can't imagine where I'm gonna be when I'm older. I didn't get diagnosed with OCD until I was 20. 6 years of treatment and therapy, not just for my mental illness, but for physical illness as well, has really put me where I am today and being able to function. I actually have a lot of symptoms that are almost Tourette's-like. Like I'll look at certain things certain amounts of times, and if I think about it, it gets worse. I actually just made a video about mirrors and how they trigger me, and like walking back and forth in front of them. Anything with direct eye contact with myself when I see a mirror, any reflective surface. If I try to recreate these tics in this environment, I'll still keep doing them. That's why it's so taxing sometimes to explain them to people, because if I try to show you, I get stuck in the loop. When I was about 2, I started getting strep throat anywhere from 2 times to 6 times a year. 1 in 200 kids will develop something called PANDAS, which is a pre-adolescent neuropsychiatric disorder due to strep infection. Every time the strep infection starts, the obsessive compulsive disorder just manifests and gets worse and worse over the course of like 20 years until I got my tonsils out and the strep stopped. That PANDAS might have been the cause of all of my tics, OCD, everything today, and it could have caused some brain damage. My first incidence of OCD as a kid was really terrifying because it's a really alienating disease, and it tends to make you think that you're responsible for everything bad around you because your brain is telling you that everything you do is bad unless you do something else to counteract it. As I got older, because people didn't understand it, they thought OCD was being clean. And so when I would obsess over getting a disease from a toilet seat, they would just not get it. I don't think that anyone ever truly understands what they're doing to someone with obsessive compulsive disorder, because I don't think they understand the severity of the fear. We just should not be told that it's irrational, because we know it's irrational, but we need a safe place in order to really confront that. That video that went viral was me with my rice cakes. I put my phone on record, and instead of trying to battle it in any way, I'm just going to let myself sniff and then see where the sniffing naturally takes me. If I don't sniff it that certain amount of times that feels right, and I start eating, then the food is gone and I can't do my compulsion, but I'm still thinking about it. I never meant for the OCD videos to get as much attention as they have. It definitely lessens my anxiety. And I think having a healthy hobby for anyone that has any type of obsessive compulsive or anxiety disorder is super healthy, because it separates you for a minute. I've always had to have not just one, but like a dozen outlets to exhaust my brain, because without that exhaustion, my brain will just run in circles.
I constantly have to yank my pants up because they just feel wrong.
When I was a kid, I didn't have anybody that were showing what it looked like, or who are unashamed to show what it looked like. And so I felt really alone. There are so many kids who are legitimately getting diagnosed with things like PANDAS. And so for those kids and those teenagers and those parents, I think it's really important to me that they see someone sniffing their food just like they do. Because believe it or not, so many people have commented that they do that. There's somebody else, and actually she's living life just fine, still doing these things. I had a mom the other day that said that her 10-year-old son was diagnosed, and after watching my video, she and they talked about it, and it was the first time he smiled talking about his OCD. And so if it's rare, I feel like you should show it, because it's rare on a personal level, but it's common like across the board. I think I got into modeling because I was told that I never could. It definitely makes me feel more confident in who I am, and it's just fun, especially because as a young adult, I was really insecure about how I looked. Now I'm learning to love everything, especially about my face, and so then making it up and making it look cool, it's a cool artistic expression. I think beauty, there's those corny sayings, beauty comes from within. But I think all that means is beauty is unique to the person. And I think that there's beauty in overcoming obstacles in life and making them into something better. People that are doing things in the world that matter, that they were told they couldn't do. I think that's beautiful. I'm Ashley, and this was my story. Have a beautiful day.